EDC, or everyday carry. It's about the choices that each of us make on what tools we decide to take with us that will make our day easier or more efficient. In some cases, it may even make a difference on making it through the day or not. First of all, thank you to everyone that takes the time to share their own ideas here like this so that we may each help each other out to make informed decisions on how best to prepare to face the day. This video is posted in the spirit that's not meant in any way to disparage anyone else's laws or country, state, or lifestyle. The gear choices that one person makes over what someone else chooses do not in any way make them any better or worse. It is just what works for each of us as individuals that are often shaped by what happens around us in the world and how we are affected by these events. These are my choices. It is my hope that some or all of my ideas may help others here as I have been helped. It's been a progression. What you see in my hand here is what I started out with as a teenager in the late 70s. I saved up for my two main items, an SAK camper and a Buck 112, supplemented with a black belt in the martial arts, and my main hobby was camping. This worked until I hit about 21 years of age. At 21, I became a law enforcement officer, and as a first responder to emergencies, I began to realize firsthand just how brutal the world could be and upped my game, both in training and gear, to meet what I saw that life was throwing at people. Evil, disasters, medical emergencies happen to people every day in every corner of the world. You may be lucky enough to live, work, and play in a statistically safe spot on the globe, but the big three I just mentioned, evil, disasters, and medical emergencies, well, they still happen. And whether you plan on being one of the 99 that nothing ever happens to, or that 1 in 100, or even 1 in 1,000 that it does happen to, you have to choose to be ready or not with your skills, your training, and your gear. We are men. We use tools to make us more effective. The most efficient tool for self-defense from evil people or animals that we can reasonably carry daily in life is the handgun, or as Samuel Colt called it, the great equalizer. Whether it is younger, bigger, stronger, or large numbers or gangs of those who would harm me or others, this tool gives me both an edge on winning that problem if it ever comes. Fortunately, in 33 years of carrying off duty, I have never even had to draw one time, and hope I never ever do. Just like I hope never to have to use the seatbelt I wear every day while driving, but I still wear it. And it is a tool, and a tool that is so important that failure can mean death, and even the best tools can fail, as I've seen as a firearms instructor in armor. So carry two if it's that important. So we'll start with this, since we are talking about my main tool. It's a Sig Sauer P220 Dark Elite with a Surefire TLR3 tactical light on it with an integral 8-round magazine. This is similar to the weapon I carried in the SWAT days of the 80s when I ran that team for about a year, of my West German model P220 with a Surefire tac light on it. This was made in the days before rail mounts were even considered an option, and it's what I depended on every day on SWAT missions, and I still prefer that as a weapon system. So now with the Dark Elite with the built-in tactical rail, SIG light night sights, and short reset trigger, this is definitely the weapon that I like to choose to wear. My holster system of choice is the Smart Carry. You can go to that website and you can see how that weapon system is carried and worked without me having to go through it again for you here. Originally, this second pocket on the Smart Carry was designed to carry additional magazines, and you can do that. I've carried two 10-round magazines in this other pocket, but what I found in practice is that the width of both the weapon system and light and the additional magazines causes chafing in the center part of your body where this goes down. So really the only thing that I can comfortably carry is just the weapon, and then in the spare pocket I carry a mandated handcuffs, which in this case is just a tough tie. These are nice, light, disposable. And this is completely comfortable. I don't even notice that it's there, and just having it the simple way like that. Now where I'll keep my spare magazines is in my left back pocket with a handkerchief that you see here. This is my #1 medical device too. You can use this for everything from a sling to a pressure bandage to a tourniquet, and of course just the normal things if you have a cold or it's a hot day and wiping your nose or emergency toilet paper or whatever it comes down to. But I always carry a handkerchief on me. And in that same back pocket I took an old Bianchi shoulder holster rig, cut the ears off of it and made it into a pistol holster. magazine holster. So now in my left back pocket, this breaks it up. It doesn't show anything. If I put the 10-round magazines in there, it does stick over the top. But with these in there like this, all you see is, in jeans, you'll see the top part of that leather. If you're wearing tactical pants or anything, the whole thing disappears down the back pocket. But it's comfortable to wear like this, and it's relatively thin with the single stack mags. In the back right pocket, as I said earlier, if it's your life depends on it, you want to carry 2 of them, is I will carry a Smith & Wesson Bodyguard in 380 with the tactical light. Now normally it's not wearing this, it's in this Talon holster, as you see here, in my right back pocket. This little holster is what I carry when I'm at home, and I always wear cotton shorts with pockets and a t-shirt. I like to be comfortable around the house, but I still carry this in my pocket along with a flashlight and a Swiss Army tool, just Swiss Army knife, just to have tools that I don't have to go grab when I'm running around the house. Because somebody kicks in the door right now, wherever you're sitting at, yeah, your gun's up in the closet, your shotgun up in your gun safe, but right now when it's happening, you want something on you to be at least to defend yourself. So that's why I always carry that. And I don't even notice the thing weighs less than a pound sitting in your pocket as it is right there. In my front left pocket, or correction, my front right pocket, I carry my wallet, and this is a Colonel Litton's, I think, and it's just a phone wallet. The phone is what I'm taking the video on right now, an iPhone. It slips in that little pocket right there on the top, and then just credit cards in the wallet. And I always carry a $2 bill on the outside to hide any hundreds that I've got in there. And I carry a Chris Reeve folding knife as my primary everyday carry knife with the Mammoth Ivory, which I enjoy that knife quite a bit. And in my jeans pocket, if I'm wearing jeans, I carry this Harley-Davidson lighter with a Thunderbird insert, so it's got a butane lighter. And what I call a luxury item, a widget or a worry stone. This is actually a silver dollar that my grandfather carried. He was always fumbling with coins in his pocket and rubbing them together, and eventually rubbed the entire silver off of this ancient silver dollar. I'll carry that occasionally, or something else. Now if I'm going to an unfriendly state, I can take these 8-round mags that are in the SIG, and I can downgrade them to the 7-round mags that came with my old P220, and that way it'd be legal there. And also with the knife, I'll downgrade it to something like this 3-inch just pocket knife, so I won't get in trouble in New York or places that are unfriendly for guns. Occasional long rides on the motorcycle, if I know I'm going to be beating up a knife quite a bit, I'll carry this Microtech SOCOM. And I always carry this on a neck chain. I want it center mass. It's got to be a breakaway chain, so if anybody ever grabs it, you won't get strangled by it, or if you fall down and catch it on something. So it's breakaway. I want this hanging in the center of my chest. Under a t-shirt, you don't even notice it. You don't see it all, except sometimes when you're sitting and leaning, sometimes you'll catch the edge of a knife. And I also just have a fixed blade knife with a nice thick spine in there in case I have to do any digging in the dirt or cut out a root or anything like that. I don't want to use my nice pocket folder for that. I'll use this to process any wood or anything. My defensive blade, however, is the one that sits center of my body, and it's this Benchmade SOCP, S-O-C-P, and this is very quick to get to. You can transition to a pistol while still holding the knife without getting rid of that, and that's to get someone off of you quickly without having to worry about flipping out a folder or anything else with your thumb, because under stress, as we know, as the heart rate goes up, the motor skills, the fine motor skills disappear. Moving over to my front left pocket, at the top is usually this flashlight, which I really like, the Streamlight Compact 2. It's the aviation model. It'll run on CR123s, AA's, AAA's, and it can be positioned in any shape, so you can set it up to look at your workspace straight up and down or any angle. It helps in those respects too, and it's still fairly bright. It's very light. It's lighter than any of the other knives or flashlights I used to carry, such as the E2D Defender from Surefire. Also at the top of the pocket is a CPR mask in this little compartment here, along with a pair of gloves, a couple of knives that I've switched over to keys. I took them apart, put my Harley key in there, airplane key. It's still also got a pen and a little flashlight in there, and a house key, post office box key, and a Gerber dime, which is a very handy little multi-tool to keep in your pocket to get to quickly. At the bottom of the pocket that you're looking at here, it's a Skint, S-K-I-N-T-H holder. It has less than lethal weapon that I can get to quickly, pepper spray that also acts as an asp it's from asp, as a Kubotan. one of the County Com Surefire. It's a Fisher space pen. My favorite multi-tool, which is the Leatherman Crunch locking pliers. And in the back is a cigarette case. And in that cigarette case, a lot of handy items. As you can see here, we've got, I'm going to flip it over a little bit. It's got a SRK Eaton tool that I've cut down to fit in here. Really good for those quick ice cream stops at the quick store. Some aspirin. Backup of all my important files on my computer, password protected. Peanut lighter from County Com. I always have Surefire on you that way. Super glue, button compass, a whistle in case you're trapped inside of a structure that fails in a tornado or something. Also a fire steel wrapped in duct tape that I cut down to fit in there. It's also about $1,000 worth of gold coins, trick candle that never goes out, can opener, dental floss wrapped around a toothpick, and in the top part, spare band-aid, the handkerchief again, emergency toilet paper or wound dressing or whatever, business card, radiation sickness tablet, one tiny little tablet. It's real cheap insurance because going to the ER and waiting to get it if there's ever an incident involving a leak like they had at Japan or a terrorist event. It's nice to have that on your person. I have another one also in the wrist container here. Safety pin, fingernail clippers, water purification tabs, extra emergency $100 bill, and a Fresnel lens. Also inside of here, on the inside, emergency first aid kit, burn gel, Neosporin, different 4x4s, 3x3s, 2x2s, different band-aids that are in there. On the bottom is an emergency $1,000 that I always keep hidden, never use it, just for extreme emergencies only. Mechanical pencil, charger for the phone, dental pick, comb, save your knives. Use these for what they're meant for, as a pry bar. It's a little boker that I reprofiled a little bit. Little handcuff key, which I also keep on my belt at work too, right on the back belt loop. A couple of paper clips, Right in the Rain paper, and in this part, that's in the bottom, is a spare flashlight with a little tritium marker so I can set it beside my parents' nightstand if I spend the night there, somewhere where I can find it in the dark. And in here is also a spare key to my truck and a rim grip blade, so I can put that into the Leatherman Crunch and lock it down and be able to self-extract, cut my way out of wood, metal, plastic, cut through anything with this rim grip blade locked into those pliers. Been to enough tornadoes where I've seen people trapped in structures that I want a way to be able to do a self-rescue. So that's my normal everyday carry. There are some differences on occasion. When I was working special ops for years, instead of wearing the smart carry system, I'd wear a t-shirt with a shoulder rig with my Smith & Wesson 645 in that, and then I'd wear a large Hawaiian shirt over the top of that, tucked in with just the bottom buttoned, an oversized one. And it's real easy to get to quickly, and it hid the weapon system really well. If I'm going to be working around the house all day doing construction work, I'll wear this little Gerber tool holder, little one-handed opening pliers that I've changed a few things out on the blade and put scissors on it from a couple other Gerber tools working around there. And I also put one of the rim grits on there as well. And when I'm around the house, I'll use this little holster. Occasionally, if I'm going up to Daytona Bike Week, one of the big biker functions or something like that, where it's, you know, a little higher risk than my normal, instead of carrying my Chris Reeves, sometimes I'll carry this one instead. It's a Rex Applegate for Baron. A little more aggressive knife that I've also sharpened on the backside with. Pet peeve of mine is going to restaurants and ordering a steak, and they give you a giant butter knife that's dull as heck with a rounded tip and watching everyone else saw through their dinners drives me nuts. So I will sometimes throw in this little $20 number 7 Opinel that I keep kitchen sharp, not shaving sharp, but it's nice to be able to just with one stroke effortlessly cut your meal and your steak instead of sitting there sawing through it. It somewhat ruins the experience for me doing that. Every now and then, if I want to inside the waistband carry, I can substitute my Colt Commander with ivory grips. When I'm at work, in my back right pocket, I've carried this for 30 years just like it is, cocked and locked, a little AMT backup 380. And my duty gun is the old tried and true first generation they came out with in the Glock 45. And that is what I carry each and every day that I'm at work. You gotta remember that I hope you all enjoyed watching this as much as I helped making others' days better by sharing it myself, and hope everyone can take away something from this and share it with others. The last thing is my bracelet, which I didn't mention. I don't have fingernails, so I keep a little pry bar in there, a little titanium one, and a spare radiation sickness pill in there, as well as water, purification tabs, fishing hooks, these this bracelet that I made myself, this twine that's in there I've soaked in paraffin, and this is a road ID on the top, so it says who I am, where I'm from, blood type, medical history, allergies, what emergency contact number I'm at, what meds that I'm taking, so that way they can send help if I've ever end up unconscious and a fire steel on the back. That does it. Thank you.